Hey everybody, and welcome back to Outdoor Adventures 360. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the Midwest's most elegant, historic, and visually stunning automotive gatherings, known as the Concourse De Elegance in Geneva, Illinois. If you've never been to a concourse event before, this is not your typical car show. This is where rolling artwork comes together with history, craftsmanship, and storytelling. And today, I'm going to walk you through the history of the Concourse de Elegance, not only in Illinois, but across the United States, and give you a detailed look at what you can expect if you're planning to attend the Geneva event. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's explore one of the most prestigious automotive traditions. It's right here in the land of Lincoln. So before we zero in on the Geneva show, let's just talk about what a Concourse de Elegance actually is. The term originated in the 17th century France, where wealthy aristocrats would parade their finely crafted carriages through city parks, essentially showing off their rolling works of art. Over time, when automobiles replaced horse-drawn carriages, the tradition continued. The finest automobiles were judged, not just on their rarity, but on craftsmanship, authenticity, historical significance, and overall beauty. Today, a concourse event is the highest level of car exhibition, not customized, not modified, but preserved or restored to absolute perfection, exactly as the car appeared when it left the factory, sometimes even better. The most famous one in the world is Pebble Beach Concourse de Elegance in California. But Geneva, Illinois has created something genuinely special in the Midwest that carries the spirit beautifully. The concourse tradition in the United States really began to flourish after World War II. Events started popping up not only in Pebble Beach, California, but Amelia Island, Florida, Hilton Head, South Carolina, Greenwich, Connecticut, and eventually Geneva, Illinois. Each location added its own flavor. Pebble Beach is known for the ultra-rare pre-war European cars. Amelia Island blends elegance with motorsports history. Hilton Head and Greenwich showcased East Coast craftsmanship and early American classics. The Midwest, though, didn't have a world-class concourse until the Geneva event grew into what it is today. A high-quality gathering attracting vehicles from all over the country. The Geneva Concours De Elegance began in the early 2000s, taking place right on South 3rd Street, the historic downtown stretch of Geneva. What makes this setting so special is that the entire downtown transforms into an open-air gallery of fine automobiles. From the beginning, the Geneva event had a mission: celebrate automotive design and history, support charitable causes, especially for children, and bring the community together. Unlike some concourse events that feel exclusive or intimidating, Geneva mixes elite vehicles with a warm, family-friendly environment. You get million-dollar cars parked just a few feet away from local shops and diners. This free-to-the-public event has transformed over the years. Geneva has displayed classic American muscle, pre-war luxury legends, hand-built European sports cars, special classes like Packards, Duesenbergs, Porsches, or Ferraris, racing heritage vehicles, unique one-off prototypes, and even futuristic concept cars. The show's reputation has grown tremendously. Owners from around the country now bring vehicles specifically to be judged in Geneva. Many concourse events feel like they're fenced off or limited, but Geneva is completely open to the public. There are understandably barriers, such as ropes here and there, to keep the vehicles appreciated with the eyes and untouched. However, there are no VIP-only areas, and everybody gets a close-up view, and you can enjoy the automotive history because it's accessible to everyone. The judging is done with incredible attention to detail, and cars are evaluated on authenticity, condition, rarity, historic significance, original parts, and factory correct details. This isn't just a car show, it's a living history lesson. Owners often stand by their vehicles and they love sharing stories. You might hear about a 30-year restoration journey, or a rare part that was found halfway around the world, or a car that raced at Sebring or Le Mans. Or maybe a vehicle that was once owned by a celebrity or historical figure. I would say all of these classics have an interesting story of how they wound up right where they are at this point in time in the condition that they are in. That's an element that makes the show so interesting, and that's especially thanks to some automobile owners who also dress in period correct clothing and look the part as they tell the history behind these classics. Alright, so let's jump into the fun stuff. What to expect when you're actually walking the streets of Geneva during the Concourse De Elegance. Well, there are lots of pre-war classics. Some of my personal favorites: Duesenbergs, Packards, Auburns, Cadillac V16s, Bugattis, cars that were built before 1940 that represent the golden age of craftsmanship. When thinking about this era of automobile manufacturing, it's easy to think about Henry Ford and the Ford Motor Company and the assembly line, where lots of people assembled cars and lots of cars were produced per day. But that was not the case with these cars. These were cars that were put together and built by actual craftsmen, not just assembly workers. And here at the Concourse, you'll also find a lot of mid-century masterpieces. Think 1950s and 60s Corvette C1 and C2s, early Thunderbirds, Jaguar E-Types, Triumphs, and MGs, or Porsches. These cars often bring huge crowds. There's also American muscle. That's always a fan favorite. Hemi Chargers, Boss Mustangs, Shelby Cobras, GTO Judges, 442, Chevelle SSs, Camaro Z28, and Cobo cars. Many of these cars have full concourse level restorations. There are plenty of European sports cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Maseratis, Aston Martins, sometimes even extremely rare models like the Ferrari 250 series or early Lamborghinis. There's race cars and special classes. Geneva frequently features themed classes like Indy cars, sports prototypes, vintage dragsters, historic NASCAR, Formula cars, and even drag race cars. Hearing those engines fire up is always a crowd stopper. Oh, and did I mention classic Volkswagens? Yep, there's plenty of Volkswagens to be seen at the Geneva Concourse. There are also areas for modern supercars such as McLarens, the new Porsche GT series, Bugattis, Paganis. Owners love bringing the newest engineering marvels. There's also an area for concepts, one-offs, and oddities. Every year there's at least one car that you've never heard of, never seen, and probably will never see again. You can expect to see roughly about 350 vehicles featured each year, and the Concourse De Elegance is also an invitation-only event, so your car has to be selected just to be here. The show has a really special vibe. There's plenty of live music from local bands creating a classy, upbeat feel. Restaurants open early, patios fill up, and there's food everywhere. Italian, American, pastries, coffee houses. The whole event is easygoing. Streets are closed off, making it a safe, enjoyable walk for families. If you're a photographer or videographer, the combination of cars and charming historic buildings is perfect. If you're planning to attend in person, here's what you should know. Arrive early. The morning light is incredible and the crowds are lighter, but you need parking. And there are some parking lots nearby, and you want to park close. Wear comfortable shoes. You'll be walking a lot, probably more than you expect. Bring a camera or wide lens phone. There's always something worth capturing. Talk to the car owners. They love sharing their stories. You might learn something that isn't printed anywhere. And check the special classes ahead of time. Every year features themes like a celebration of a certain brand or an anniversary. And then stay for the awards. The award ceremonies are usually in the afternoon and include unique trophies and amazing stories behind the winning vehicles. Another important element that makes the Geneva Concours special is its dedication to charity. The event typically supports organizations focused on children's healthcare. So by simply attending, by showing up and appreciating these vehicles, you are helping contribute to a meaningful cause. This gives the show a sense of community purpose. Illinois has really shaped its own concourse identity beyond Geneva. There have been concourse-style events in Oak Brook, Illinois, St. Charles, Lake Forest, and Chicago's Soldier Field back in earlier decades, but Geneva has become the flagship. The Midwest has a surprisingly rich automotive history. Classic Route 66 cruisers, manufacturing heritage, drag racing culture, road racing tracks, strong collector communities, so a concourse event here isn't just imported culture. It's built on decades of passion. So if you love cars, design, craftsmanship, and history, this event is a must-see. You'll witness cars that belong in museums, restorations worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and machines that were created by artisans, not assembly lines. Owners preserving history for future generations. It feels less like a car show and more like walking through a living timeline of automotive evolution. And for an outdoor adventure, it's perfect. Beautiful setting, amazing weather, awesome people, and an unmatched display of rolling artwork. If you're enjoying the car show and what you see, keep watching, there's plenty more. I'm going to duck out right now and I'll check back with you at the end of the video. Enjoy.